I'm a fan of learning things. It's hard to say what exactly, because it ranges depending on what my brain finds interesting that day. I only bring this up to say that in the age of information, I'm able to research whatever gobbledygook I find interesting in my free time, and probably dedicated around 30% of my brain capacity to random factoids and knowledge that I'm never going to need access to again. That being said, with 2025 now behind us, I thought it'd be interesting to do some predictions for the future. 25 years in the future. In the year 2050. In the year 2050, I imagine life to be easier for humans than it already is. With the rise in AI and robotics, I imagine most of the menial labors that keep our society looking good and running will be automated. Not just the menial jobs either, but the ones that require years of expert knowledge and precise skills to even have access to. With just not that many jobs on the market, but most needs being met by automation, I imagine most people only working around a 20-hour work week, leaving them time to pursue things that interest them and better things even further. I imagine there to be fully humanless restaurants that change the meaning of fast food. Order at a tablet, watch it get made like some giant vending machine, and out it pops, likely only needing human contact for service and to restock ingredients. Speaking of food, I think there would have been a shift in nutrition. There will be those who continue to eat as we do now, picking out fresh foods that yes are more abundantly grown, and yes with GMO, because we already have changed the natural products so much to suit us, that why would we stop with more advanced gene editing? I'd want to think someone has made a tree that grows in weeks rather than months. However, with higher quality gene-modified foods, we would have created superfoods unlike anything in nature. A collection of only a few hybridized foods that allow you to meet your daily needs, with no side effects. These superfoods will have been turned into supplements, leaving some people to save time and opt out of eating entirely, instead popping back 5 pills of super mix to meet their daily needs. Transportation of goods will be done by fully automated cars and trucks, which is also the new standard for driving as well. So much so that the legal driving age is raised to 25, and the test made much more in depth due to how precise automatic driving is. And how just one monkey brain can mess up the whole smooth flow of traffic. Just imagine it though, you get off work, get in your car, tell it you want to go home, and then you just sit back, take a nap, watch your favorite show, or better yet, do your taxes you still haven't figured out how to do. You turn off the windows with a switch and just let the car work for you. Need a ride to the airport? Your car can take you, then park itself neatly back in the garage, waiting for you to be picked up. The inevitable traffic in large cities won't be a drag, but a happy little accident of the day. With less human error, accidents decrease and speed limits can increase. Now some might not like the idea of a controller computing your car, but then you're probably driving a car that's not controlled by a physical throttle cable anyway. So what's the difference? I do see large underground roads where trains jet you across country in under an hour, competing with airlines and lessening their demand. Even more so as they're built under the ocean to go across countries. I hope there's a path where large drones can take over for taxis and buses and public transportation, meaning we'll have the return of some cool Zeppelin sky docks. With upgrades in solid-state battery technologies to decrease weight and increase capacity and safety, burned fuels are now finally less efficient. With cost to dig being more than it's worth, and nuclear reactors, solar arrays, and hydroponics now powering the grid, clean power is now abundant and free across developed nations, all without needing to over-regulate things and banning a bunch of crap. Almost like science and the free market wins. And humans will always find a way to adapt, even if we're the ones causing the problem. And if you're still yelling, "Oh, the frozen ice caps will destroy all the coastal cities by then!" Why? Like a real question from me. Why? Why would humans let that happen? I've never understood that argument, that we just sit back and relax and watch everything be destroyed. I mean, New Orleans is a place. It's existed for a while. I mean, seawalls? Ooh, maybe we'll get underwater cities off the coast of Florida for some reason. I don't know. Sideline over. Cities will be more of the same. Large, grander buildings with better building techniques and materials. with all too many people crammed together. But hey, the convenience! Above the traffic lights, perched like birds as they charge, are the city's emergency services, using AI and human eyes to scan through hundreds of police drone cameras. As a result, police cars are no longer on the street, and drones pursue law violations. Pull over and comply, get a ticket printed, and end of interaction. Don't, and a squad car will get sent, escalating you to 2 stars. And again, some of you might not like the idea of being on camera everywhere, but let's be honest. However, this does finally give truth to the government bird conspiracy theory, once and for all. Medical alerts through phones or implants, we'll get back to that, are now picked up by hospitals, who use large drones in place of ambulances, being more maneuverable around cities but more practical than helicopters, allowing for mobile hospital rooms to fly through the sky. Doctors and nurses are less overworked as well, with robots for surgical procedures, printers for organs, prick your finger and get DNA-specific flu vaccines with 0 side effects. I'd imagine your primary care doctor would be your only standard visit, for specific checks and mental check-ins, with emergency procedures being carried out by machines, leaving humans to only supervise. And for those of you again saying a robot isn't good enough to do surgery, I give you Exhibit A. Something that gets abused every day, yet it never fails you, and if it did, you would freak out. Yes, it's done with lasers, but it still seems more complex than a burst appendix, in my opinion. But hey, inform me if I'm wrong. I love to learn. I like to believe we have cured most forms of cancer, and with increased studies to the human brain, Alzheimer's and dementia are able to be fought off as well. With devices like Neuralink not only proving that biomechanical interaction is not only possible, but very much doable, that I think would play a big role in better prosthetics, being better than the organic originals. Blindness will be cured with cameras wired directly to your brain. Zoom in, snap a picture, and have it sent directly to your phone. Same with hearing loss. And what I personally hope for are earbud implants. If there was a headphone I could just get installed in the bone of my head that never needed to be recharged, I could never lose, and I could walk around blasting my own theme music, sign me up. Paralyzed people will unlock the ability to move again, and there will be an epidemic of people swapping out healthy body parts and able to experience the world differently, and some would argue, better. It'll be the start of cyborgs, and to the life of those who can afford it, it just got a lot longer. Entertainment will be the largest share of the market, with everyone looking to take your attention and time. VR and AR games will be massive, allowing you to use your body as the controller, and feel the sensations as if you were really there. I don't think we'll be at SAO deep dive levels yet, but just scratching the surface of real digital worlds. Your phone will most likely be integrated somewhere into your body, if you're hip with the times, allowing you to call, text, and search from the comforts of anywhere and everywhere. I do think that the form factor for phones will get a lot smaller, being more like the watches that we currently have. Either look down and use it, or connect it to your AR glasses or contact lenses. I'd assume that the watch would mainly act as like the processor unit, just controlling all the devices you have about your body. But that's if you don't just have it installed, which for some reason I'm imagining it right at the base of your neck. This just in. In the year 2036, the internet finally dies, due to being overrun with AI slop and bots. The internet too is launched, requiring biometric login to access. For some reason, I just picture it as a giant Google page that you just type what or where you want to go. Hit enter, and the great Goog Master AI will bring you there flawlessly, about 95% of the time. Don't fret, the old net is still around, being used as the brains and knowledge to power the all-knowing Goog Master. That's it, I'm out of here. At home, you'll just walk up to the door and it'll unlock. When you pay at the store, they'll just ask for a thumbprint. When you log into Google Plus 2, it'll ask for biometrics. And you can start your car with just the look of your eyes. With computers getting better every day, and quantum computers already able to break every password in only a few minutes, Passwords should just no longer be a thing. You won't have to remember for it to be secure. And your bank, job logins, everything will be biometric, linking it right back to you. Perfect for the advertisers. Deliveries will get dropped off via drone to your yard, picked up by your housebot, and left neatly somewhere for you to open. Or maybe it opens it, because it ordered it, because it noticed that you were out of milk. We'll have robots to clean, robots to cook, robots to sit there and read you a book. And let's just get this straight, they won't look like this. Does your Roomba look like a vacuum with legs? No. There will be specific robots made for specific tasks they were designed for. You know, your dishwasher is technically a robot, made to wash dishes. I get that the world was designed around humans in mind, so if you had a humanoid robot, it would make it easier for them just to do everything we can already do, and I'm sure we'll have them, but they probably won't cook for you, at least yet. You'll have a kitchen set that you'll keep filled with produce and fresh meat, most likely 3D printed unless you raise your own. And another question, if you had the option of buying a cheap cut of meat for $20 or a nice ribeye for $5, which would you choose? You're saying there's a catch, and yes, it's 3D printed. But most people's diets already consist of heavily processed foods, and I feel like just printing cells in a different shape is less processing. If there's no health problems, and it doesn't cause cancer in like 30 years, what's the problem? Like honestly, tell me if you have a problem. Or more specifically, what would be your problem with it? But back to your kitchen. You can cook if you want, or pick a recipe off your smart fridge from the analyzed ingredients you have, and boom, little handy hands come out, and 30 minutes later, you have yourself a meal.
Yum.
I have a lot more dumb thoughts for the future that rattle through my brain. Like fashion, normalizing sweats in public was a great achievement for society. Let's keep it up. How the world will look, politics, global trade, currencies, tourism underwater, and in space. But I've rambled on long enough for one video. This is also my positive outlook for the future, since a few big bombs and we're set all the way back to square one. But as I say this, it's not like old things will disappear. We'll still have all the normal stuff we have now, just with newer, better stuff as well. Or maybe it'll be worse, and then I can be the old person saying how everything was built better back in my day. It's funny to look back at just my own lifetime, where I've gone from flip phones to smartphones, and renting VHS tapes at Blockbuster to streaming videos from space. So yeah, is there any big things that you think I missed for the future? Do you agree with any of my predictions? Before I leave, let me leave you with one more question. What's one thing that you want to exist in the year 2050? And until then, see you next time. I imagine most people only be working around 20 minutes. 20 minutes. These superfoods will have been turned into supplements, allowing some people to save time and opt out of eating entirely. God, my brain was thinking of if they made it into brownie mix flavor, and then people would eat that shit all the time. God damn it.